The crystalline halls of the Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Elsa Chen stood before the assembled delegates. 700 species, representatives from across 3 spiral arms, watched with a mixture of curiosity and thinly veiled contempt. The humans had been summoned, and everyone knew why. "The Council has reached its decision," High Arbiter Zekthor announced, his 4 mandibles clicking with satisfaction. The insectoid leader's compound eyes glittered as he continued. "Humanity is hereby expelled from the Galactic Council, effective immediately. Your aggressive expansion, your refusal to accept designated territorial boundaries, and your blatant disregard for established protocols leave us no choice." Elsa remained perfectly still, her expression unreadable. Behind her, Captain Jackson Rivers of the UNSC Defiance clenched his jaw but said nothing. They had expected this. Hell, they had counted on it. "Furthermore," Zekthor continued, clearly savoring the moment, "all human vessels are banned from Council space. All trade agreements are void. Humanity will face economic sanctions until you learn your place in the Galactic Order." A ripple of approval swept through the chamber. The Vrex delegation chittered excitedly. The Castellan ambassador nodded his massive head. Even the usually neutral Luminari seemed pleased. Humanity, the upstart species that had dared to question 10,000 years of tradition, was finally being put in its place. Elsa stepped forward, and the chamber quieted again. "We accept the Council's decision," she said simply. Zekthor's mandibles froze mid-click. He had expected arguments, protests, perhaps even threats. But acceptance? "However," Elsa continued, her voice carrying across the vast chamber, "we have a message for the Council to consider." She nodded to Jackson, who activated a holographic display. Data streams filled the air above the assembly. Star charts, resource manifests, technological specifications, and something that made several delegates lean forward in alarm: military fleet compositions. "In the 3 years since humanity joined the Council," Elsa explained, "we've been busy. While you debated trade quotas and territorial claims in these halls, we built, we explored, we adapted." The hologram shifted to show the Outer Rim territories, the supposedly barren regions beyond Council space that no species had bothered to claim. "These worthless systems you abandoned?" Elsa smiled. "We've colonized 437 of them. We've established industrial bases, agricultural worlds, and research facilities. We've discovered resources you never knew existed because you never bothered to look." Jackson took over, his military bearing evident as he expanded the display. "We've also made friends. The Kresh Union, the Free Traders of Deneb, the Outer Colonies Coalition, species and factions you dismissed as irrelevant. They're not members of your council, but together they represent significant territory and resources." "This is outrageous," the Vrex ambassador screeched. "You cannot simply ignore centuries of established—" "Can't we?" Elsa interrupted, her tone sharp. "You've just expelled us. We're no longer bound by your rules, your territories, or your outdated regulations." Zekthor's composure cracked. "You would dare challenge the Council? Our combined fleets are impressive," Jackson acknowledged. 7,000 capital ships, countless support vessels. Formidable. But let me ask you something. When was the last time any of you actually fought a war? 200 years ago? 300? The silence that followed was damning. "Humanity remembers war," Jackson continued coldly. "We know conflict. We've spent our entire history fighting each other, our environment, the universe itself, and we've gotten very, very good at it." Elsa brought up another display. "But we're not here to threaten you. We're here to make you an offer. You've expelled us from the Council. Fine. We're forming our own alliance, the Terran Coalition. We're offering membership to any species tired of Council bureaucracy, any faction that values action over endless debate." "You're splitting the galaxy," the Castellan ambassador roared. "You split it first," Elsa replied. When you rejected our proposal to explore the dark sector, when you laughed at our terraforming initiatives, when you called us reckless for wanting to push boundaries that you've been too comfortable to test for millennia. Jackson added, "We've already signed treaties with 47 non-council species, trade agreements, mutual defense pacts, technology exchanges, and that number grows daily. The Council will respond to this aggression," Zekthor warned, though his voice lacked its earlier confidence. Elsa shook her head. "This isn't aggression. This is evolution. The galaxy is enormous, Arbiter. There's room for both our approaches. You can maintain your established order here. We'll build something new out there." She paused, letting her next words sink in. "Unless, of course, you try to stop us. Then we'll discover just how formidable those 7,000 ships really are when they haven't seen combat in 3 centuries. The chamber erupted in chaos, some species shouting in outrage, others in alarm, a few in what might have been excitement. Jackson leaned close to Elsa. "Think they'll bite?" "Doesn't matter," she whispered back. "We've already won. Look at the junior delegates, half of them are intrigued. Give it 10 years and the Council will be begging us for trade agreements." As they turned to leave, Elsa addressed the Council one final time. "You wanted humanity to learn its place in the Galactic Order. Congratulations, we have. We've learned that if the existing order doesn't work for us, we'll build a better one." The doors sealed behind them with a definitive hiss. "Captain," Elsa said as they walked toward their shuttle, "send word to the Coalition. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity does best." "What's that, Ambassador?" She smiled. "We adapt. We overcome. We thrive. And we never, ever accept limitations." As the human shuttle departed, the Council chamber remained in turmoil. But in the outer rim, in the forgotten spaces between the stars, construction yards blazed with activity. New ships, new stations, new worlds, all bearing the symbol of the Terran Coalition. The Council had expelled humanity, thinking they were closing a door. They had no idea they'd just opened a floodgate. Humanity's time of asking for permission was over. The era of the Terran Coalition had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The end.